What's up, everybody? Rafa Rispo back here for the post-match rant. Napoli, yes, Napoli lose their first match of the season, 1-0. Hard fought matchup. It's a bittersweet moment in time, but we don't win our sixth Champions League match. We don't match the historic Napoli, the historic Milan team of 2000 of 1992-93, but there's still a lot to be proud of. We played a really hard fought match. I think it took a little while for us to get our rhythm going, and then Ostigard puts the ball in a stunning goal set piece, just a millimeter offside. Very upsetting that went that way, and then Liverpool just got the scrappiest goal that they could. Very disappointing to lose, but at the same time, again, we're the group winners. So that's something to be very proud of. Ralph Pizarro is not with me, but he is watching at home and says, hey, we win the group. But I would have liked to see more today, especially from Spalletti utilizing La Rosa. Yes, we should have maybe made a few more changes earlier. It looks like Raspadori and Simeone were up for the challenge. Maybe they should have gone in a little bit earlier than they did. I think today might have been something that, I'll tell you what, Christine Cupo was on Calcio e Cappuccino podcast for CBS last weekend, and she came out and said the Achilles heel for this team might be Spalletti. I don't necessarily agree with that, but today maybe it is the case. Maybe for just today. Again, let's not get too down on the club. Like, we're still in perfect shape. We are. We're, again, group winners. It's only one loss. If you subscribe to losing today, um, but continuing the unbeaten run in Serie A, and then going another 13 unbeaten. I saw that tweet. Actually, the tweet said that if would you take a 4-0 loss if you were to guarantee another 13 straight unbeaten in all competitions? That would have got us to the quarterfinals in the Champions League and a semifinal in Coppa Italia. So, and obviously, tearing up Serie A. So, yeah, I would have taken that. And if somebody were to have said, Napoli lose but win the group, are you happy? I'm happy that we won the group. So there you go. The first match round of the Champions League is done, and we have possible. I mean, I haven't, honest to goodness, I haven't even been able to check and see some of the scores in the Champions League. And I know, listen, our live viewership is not up right now. We're only at 4 live viewers, so let's get that going. But no one wants to come in after a loss like this, even though, people might want to come in after a loss to vent their frustration, but there's really no frustration event. You know, we're, we're only, we're in a good space still. The Biz says, Rafa, you make one change over 80 minutes, no reason to even risk the players. Plenty of youngsters could have gotten a chance to bring home the win. What was Spalletti thinking? So there you go. That's the thought process. We lost 2-0. Was it 2-0? Did that second goal count? Because I kind of got out there. Oh, it was 2-0. Oh my gosh. It was 2-0. I gotta change my banner. Insane. All right. Well, then it was 2-0. No, let's hide that and change that. I didn't think that second goal counted. There was a lot going on in the shop too, by the way, while that was happening. But yeah, so it's a 2-0 loss. Okay, so we lost 2-0. KK77 says, and Spalletti did a bad job making experiments with replacement Zielinski and slow Dumbele. Um, Yeah, I understand. But guess what, guys? We had a good opportunity to be up 1-0. We took it. It was just a touch offside, and I'm still proud of the group. Um, Notwithstanding the fact that Spalletti could have made a lot of changes. How about Rangers being the whipping boys of the group? I call that 100%. I definitely called that they'd lose all six, but it looks like they are officially the worst Champions League group club in a group stage ever. That's an official thing. Anyway, need not. We still have Chris Kelly, who is at the Anfield, and I'm trying to get in touch with him to get in, and he said he'd come in. So we're waiting on Chris Kelly to come in. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that we can't, boast that we have 6 wins in the Champions League. Payman is in now. Payman Dagar says we played well, but will this hurt us against Atalanta? And I am also a little worried about Mehmet, or is this harsh? No, I don't think I'm worried about Mehmet. I think it's just a thing that happens to the best of them. Here he is. Here he is, Chris Kelly, live from Anfield. Chris, I'm sure it's a little bit quieter there. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Raf. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it's a little bit
Okay.
subdued, but obviously you can understand the atmosphere in the place.
Sure.
A little bit depressing. Nobody can really understand why the goal was disallowed that we scored before, but
Well, so they showed it again, and it looked like so clearly Osimhen was offside, but
yeah.
Ostigard also had a shoulder and some of his head offside. They showed it on screen. If you get home and check the screen, you'll see it's by literal millimeters, man. It's really it's really
Osimhen's head and shoulder were offside by like millimeters. Yeah, no. Ridiculous.
no. Ostigard's was
Oh,
Ostigard.
sorry.
He's the
Osti.
Ostigard. Yeah,
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 Ostigard.
yeah.
Listen,
So
Ralph, I've just this is just a little aside, but I've just had a nice conversation with a group of Georgian Napoli fans, believe it or not, stood next to me. So I've taken a photograph all together with them,
yeah.
and I'll be sending it to you guys. And I've promised them that I'll make them famous internationally. So when I send you the photo, okay, or when I post it to you, you need to present it to them. I've given them the details of the RANT, so they'll be new members. Or new
Absolutely.
subscribers, I should say.
Absolutely.
So yeah, 100%. They're
Are they
following.
are they part of a like Twitter? Do they have a Twitter account? Are they a club? Is it like a club, or is it just a group of fans?
Well, it was a family group as far as I could tell.
Okay,
Just hold on to
great,
the
great.
show.
Well, we will
As far as I could
100%.
tell, it was a family group.
Absolutely. Yeah, we will get them on our Twitter account. We'll put them up for sure. That's for sure. And it sucks. It sucks that I didn't even know the set. Chris, to be honest with you, I didn't
passed
even know
them
the second
details
goal
of
came
it.
through.
Yeah, it does.
I think there's a little delay there.
No,
Chris,
no, nobody. I mean, obviously, I'm sorry, Raf. I'm sorry.
it's okay. Why don't
The
you go
weather's,
ahead?
I think the weather might be interfering with what's going on right now.
It's okay, Chris. If you can you describe the atmosphere of the Napoli fans
Just hold on.
before the goals were scored? I mean, maybe even when Ostigard's goal went in. Can you describe the atmosphere that
When the goal in, I sent the message to you about just as the free kick was being taken, or just when we got the free kick, Cavara was stepping up to take the free kick and put it in. I started videoing, and from where we were stood, the free kick went in. Obviously, it was a nice delivery into the box, but um, it was just a raw. There were that many people in the way. It was chaos. To be fair, obviously a massive celebration, and then a bit of disbelief. Obviously, when the VAR check came up on the screen. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
yeah. It's really
it,
difficult. It's really difficult
it
to explain.
it was hard to tell even on the TV screen, and they didn't give us much for a replay before it. They gave us one replay that showed Osimhen offside right ahead of Ostergaard, but since the ball wasn't played to Osimhen, we figured it was good. Then they announced that there was no goal, so we were very confused. And then they showed the still, like the diagram where Ostergaard was just a touch offside, and it was such a shame because I honestly think if that goal stands, we're talking about a different game after that,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I mean, I was. I think I mentioned again to you that I'd been speaking to Seba, the Korean guy that's in
Sure.
Italy right now, following Kim around. Uh,
Yeah.
Obviously he's a big fan, and he's got a YouTube channel. I was doing a little halftime interview with him, and basically he was asking me what I thought of the game, and I said to him, it's a slow game, but it's a bit of a chess match. Nobody really wants to go out and take the game to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when that goal went in, uh, up to that point, nothing had really been happening. A few chances from either side or from both sides, but nothing
Right.
really concrete had developed from you know, any plays. So it was a bit, slow to watch, hard to watch, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, did we expect any less than that because, or any more than that? Because essentially, Chris, these two teams were qualified, and it would have taken a monumental win from Liverpool to win the group. So essentially, win, lose, or draw, Napoli were winning this group. So do you think that Napoli had intentionally kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit? Like it looked like it on TV for sure. Did that translate live as well?
But yeah, there's absolutely no doubt that the game was not as fast paced, and not as definite. If that makes more
Mm-hmm.
sense, our
Mm-hmm.
attack wasn't as definite as it has been in previous games,
Okay.
um, and I was a little bit confused because the formation or the team that Spalletti put out, it was quite an attacking team. There's no two ways
Yeah.
about it. We had a strong team set out, so I was a little bit confused as to what the reason would be. But like you said, there was no reason for us to go out and smash it like we have been doing. We were top of the league. The only thing that we didn't want to do was let them.
Stink. Right, let them
Yeah,
rout us, stink the joint
yeah,
out. Right.
absolutely.
Well, and I don't think we stunk the joint out. If you ask me, I think we played well enough to be in it, and it just didn't go our way today. Don't forget this is Liverpool at Anfield, and also, Chris, I spoke with earlier yesterday morning, and it was released this morning on the Anfield Wrap
Uh-huh.
podcast app that Anfield Wrap.
Yeah,
Um, and I was listening to them before my segment, and they were saying things like, if this were a match that Liverpool had to win to qualify, if there was something on the line here, Napoli
yeah,
would thrash Liverpool. That was the sentiments from Liverpool
yeah.
themselves.
Right.
So I think they knew, knowing going in, that nothing's on the line, they might have a shot at taking a win here. and the fact that Napoli play with such high intensity all the time, maybe that was in Napoli's heads, and Spalletti's heads. And my thing is, and the chat agrees here is I'm a little upset that Spalletti didn't make changes a little earlier than he did.
earlier.
I think Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia could have came off earlier.
You're
It
right.
might have played. It might have made a difference between the loss and a draw or win.
Yeah. The sentiment around, like some of the Napoli fans that were round about me at the end were very much along the same lines. They left the substitutions too late. Instead of who was the first substitution to make it? Was in the midfield,
first
wasn't
substitution
it?
was the first substitution I believe was Lozano for Politano.
Right.
Or was it?
Yeah.
And then we saw Elmas come in and Zielinski for Kvara and for
it was Zielinski.
Who else came off?
Zielinski came on.
Right.
Yeah. Lobotka.
For Kvara and Lobotka, correct.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think those two. Once Kvaratskhelia came off, there was nothing really happening down this. Down the left-hand side. All the pace.
Up until they scored, they did nothing.
Yeah. Up until they scored that goal gave them more of an impetus to attack more. They did become a lot more attack-minded. But I just think it was a case of the game was a dead rubber.
Right.
Nobody had anything to play for apart from pride. More so Liverpool than Napoli, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. So Ralph Pizarro comes in on the chat and says, "I don't get how Spalletti can get a nomination for Beast of the Match and then decides on this game management today." He says that he shouldn't be this salty for winning the group. So Ralph Pizarro feels really salty about this match today, even though we won the group. Is that just very Napoli of us to be disappointed in winning the group in the fashion that we did? I mean, essentially,
in a word,
we backpedaled into winning this group today. So
yeah, I think in a word, it's a simple one-syllable answer. Yes, he's got a right to be salty.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with the attacking, like I said, the attacking formation, the team that Spalletti put out, we should have gone out there and at least taken 2 goals out of them in the first half.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason, Raf, why we couldn't have done that.
There is no reason. There's no reason. Biz says, "I'm going to pretend that Spalletti knows what he's doing with his decisions today." He knows what he's doing, Ralph. Today was a very weird situation.
How many times have we all said, in Spalletti we trust?
Right.
He knows the team best, and like you said, we finished top of the group anyway. It was a meaningless game in reality. It was a game just to win for pride. That's it.
Sure.
We were unlucky not to win.
Yeah, we were unlucky not to win it. I mean,
they haven't done anything.
It's just rehashing the same thing now, isn't it?
Sure.
I think one of the things as well is what you were referring to. It's very Napoli of us now to become upset with not even you would be right to be upset about a mediocre performance, but because we've been playing in such a strong fashion, winning by big score lines, you kind of become complacent, don't you? You do take your foot off the pedal.
Right. Right. And here's the thing is how will this affect Saturday against Atalanta? Big match to play there, and
I don't think it will.
Okay.
I don't think the guys will go home. They've got 4 days to settle down, to get their heads out of their asses, and make some decent moves forward on the in the league up until this World Cup break.
Yeah,
And then a holiday in Turkey, don't they? So who could
for
ask for
sure.
more?
So Payman Dagger earlier asked, he says we played well, but will this hurt us against Atalanta? We just mentioned that, and then he says, and I am also a little worried about Meta, or is this harsh? Pasquale asks, so is this Meret redemption tour over? And then Christian Soriano comes in and says Meret played well. I agree. I think Meret played pretty well today. Uh, the goals that were scored, I don't know if I'm sure those are Meret issues somewhere there, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna kill Meret over this either. I think
Not
he
at
played
all.
really well. Played really
I
well all game up until the end there.
agree. I agree. Listen, there's no reason to hang him out on a cross. The two goals that Liverpool scored against us today were scrappy goals. That's why
Yeah.
they had to be VAR checked. Not clear cut goals, were they? Otherwise they would have stood from them happening.
Right.
But goal line scrambles are never goals that are convincing. It's just luck of the draw when it comes down to it. So no, I disagree with the thought that he's reverting back to his old self. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think I've got every confidence in him performing for the standard he's raised himself to just now.
Right. And I agree with you. We were warned. I think we warned ourselves about not going too harsh on Napoli if they lose today and still win the group. I think every Napoli fan needs to still be proud of this accomplishment, achievement. Again, first team since 2004-05 to win 5 matches in a group stage, and we had the chance to make history today, being the only other team since Milan in 92-93 to win 6 matches all 6 in the group stage. I'm not upset with winning the group and having a better chance in the knockout stages to progress to the quarterfinals, honestly. And you know what? Listen, I know the performance could have been a little better. I know that we could have, shown a lot more today. And I know that deep down inside, Liverpool knows that we're the better team. So I don't think I'm going to take this loss. Now, if this translates into Saturday, then we may have an issue. You know what I mean? So, but again, all teams have spells. You know what I mean? This is our first loss of the season. It took 17 matches in all competitions to get a first loss of the season, and I'm not going to be that upset about it. And
you see, what I'm going to say to you about this, just to pump the brakes on Meret, because you can't, like I said, goal line scrambles, not his fault. It's everybody's fault for not making not getting the feet in the way, not getting the bodies on the line. Not clearing, not defending very well. It's not about Meret. It depends how he performs on Saturday, but you've got to think like Spalletti and be like Spalletti and say, you know what, you're our number one goalie for a reason now, and we're all behind you. The team have got to pat each other on the back and say, heads up, and we move forward.
Absolutely. Chris Estrada. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say, we're together as a team. We've talked about this, haven't we? They're a solid team, family unit, close-knit unit, tight, supportive. All the things that you want from a team. We've never had this before. Mental attitude is absolutely astronomical. The togetherness, the team spirit, focus, the desire. I'm not bothered if I'm on the bench. I just want to get on whatever Spalletti and whenever Spalletti wants me to be there, I'm there. I'm at his disposition, whatever he wants, when he wants. That's it. That's what you want from everybody. And we've got that.
Mm-hmm. Chris Estrada says, just like we were talking about in the Discord, the Napoli Rant Discord, I think we needed this loss, especially how this loss doesn't affect us in any way, shape, or form. Maybe just to get it out of the way, right?
Right.
And Sean Sullivan from the DC Partenope group says on to Bergamo, and no, I'm sorry, I think he's from, is he from DC or from, I forgot what club he's from. He's from one of those clubs down mid south. Yeah, but Biz is very upset. Chris, he really is very upset. He says, I'm sorry, but 20 goals scored. We did though, Ralph. My answer to that is we did bang in a goal. It was just a touch offside. We got the goal. We could have had, like I get it. It wasn't a goal because it was off, but we did bang one in. But honestly, it's only the second match of the season where we failed to score. So I'm really not going to take it for. I'm going to take it for what it's worth and just be like, you know what? Off night. It's bound to happen. Champions have off nights too,
Yep. I'm a little bit disappointed that the goal we scored didn't inspire them to attack again.
Sure.
But you can't be upset. You can't be upset. You can't be too disheartened. You'll have to when you go off there, you'll have to give Biz a pep talk. Maybe
we will.
For him, take him to a spa day, something like that.
I think a spa day is in order. Well, I'll see him on Saturday. Maybe we'll talk about after everything's over on Saturday. We'll go get some pedicures together or something. Some face masks and a nice hot towel shave, right? What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good to me.
Well, Chris, I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for the pregame and for now the postgame. Thank you so much. Anytime you get a chance to do this, we would love to have you on here.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to finally meet you in person one of these days, man. We will for sure. I also thank you. But I understand you also took some video with some of the guys from there, with Salad and a couple of the other guys. If you can send them our way, we'll post them on our social medias and we'll get you guys out there too. It's just so that everybody knows that we really are Napoli worldwide, man.
Absolutely, Raf. Like I said, it's a little bit, obviously everyone's disappointed because we didn't come away with the W, but you can't be too upset because we've won the group, and that was, if anybody had said at the beginning of the campaign we would be top of the league, we'd come out of the group being in front in first place, beating Liverpool, beating Ajax, beating Rangers the way we have done so convincingly, you would have laughed, wouldn't you?
Sure, so absolutely.
You've got to take the positives. Avanti così.
Avanti così. That's what we always say. Avanti così. Ralph says a spa day, he's down. So thank you, Chris, for that. And I got to take him out. Thanks a lot.
Not a problem. I'm glad to.
It's all good. We'll go out. We'll do it.
Anytime anything's going down that I can be part of, Discord, like that's I know Biz enjoys me barging through the doors on those games. Even though I am like 5, 6, 7 seconds in front of you guys, I try not to spoil, but I can't always hold my water. It's
okay. It doesn't matter. It's okay. But thank you again for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, Chris.
No problem, Raf. Forza Napoli.
Ciao, sempre. That was Chris Kelly at Real Don de Napoli on Twitter. Please hit him up. Yes, that's Real Don di Napoli. I'm going to change that banner so everybody can make sure they get it right. Visit him on Twitter. He's a really cool dude. He's got kids like me. He's a devoted Napoli fan, lifelong Napoli fan. Beautiful person he is. Real Don de Napoli on Twitter. Anyway, before we continue, I'd like to throw this out there.
Show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and be sure to give this episode a like.
Yes, go ahead and like and subscribe our stuff. Thanks, Biz, for that message. One more thing from Chris Estrada, and then I think we'll be out of here. Rispo, do you think we as a fans are acting like this because we are all used to attacking more and at least scoring a goal? Should we have a new higher expectation every time we play now? Is this a good thing? I got to tell you what, man, I think we should expect goals in matches because we are good enough to score goals like that. Like we are. We've got the pedigree to score, we've got the goal scoring. But listen, it's not going to happen every single game. Like there are going to be games. So listen, if you told me at the beginning of the season that in match day 6 you're going to lose 2-0 to Liverpool, you're going to score all these goals all season, but you're still going to win the group, and you're going to be ahead in Serie A, scoring a ton of goals, 50 goals in all competitions. Do you take that? I mean, yeah, you do take that. If you're going to accept that, and I think I've just accepted that. You know what? Tonight was not our night. It's going to happen every now and then. And then he goes, or is it okay to have a bad performance once in a while? Because once again, we're humans and we make that mistake. Yes, 100%, Chris, 100%. Pasquale, damn, that bit lasted 10 seconds before it bounced. Then ref today could learn something about speed from the rant moderator. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Hey, guys, thanks for joining in here today. Be sure to visit us for the meet on Saturday if you can. If you're in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. If you're not and traveling, come through. 12 o'clock, the doors open at Ribalta. 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon is kickoff. It's Atalanta Napoli. It's with me, Ralph Biz, the rant. It's with Ralph Biz. I got rid of those XXX bots, man. But it's with me, Ralph Biz, and it's with Tri-State Napoli Club. You see my scarf here, and it's with Napoli Club New York City, and Serie A representatives will be there. So please visit us there. Again, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff for our channels and our social medias. I'm Rafa Rispo. Thank you for joining us today. Napoli lose 2-0, but Napoli win Group A. Going to be very exciting. The draw for the round of 16 is on Monday, November 7th. And if you give me 2 seconds, I will read off our potential opponents. So far confirmed, we can face Club Brugge from Group B. We can face Frankfurt from Group D. And then tomorrow, Group E, F, G, and H have to finish up. Milan currently have second place in Group E, but Salzburg are on their heels. If Milan win Group E, we do not play against them. Obviously, Inter finished second in Group C, and we can't play them either. And that's a good thing. Finishing first is a good thing because, that's more teams that we avoid. Real Madrid lead Group F, but are not the winners yet. They're still RB Leipzig right behind them, and Shakhtar Donetsk that could take second. So it could happen again, guys. We could win this group and end up drawing Real Madrid. How crappy would that be? But it could happen again. Manchester City, I believe, are the group winners. They are 3 points ahead of Dortmund. I'm not 100% sure about that. And Sevilla is 3 points behind Dortmund too. So that group might be wide open. And then Juventus are out of Group H. So we have to consider a Group H opponent. PSG and Benfica are going to duke it out. PSG play against Juventus, and Benfica played Maccabi Haifa. The winner of that group, we get the runner-up, or we get a potential runner-up. So there is potential for us to actually face City, Real, or PSG after all, which sucks. But you know what? It's all good, man. We run the group. We did our thing. We did our job. And I'm going to head on out of here now because I'm going to clean up the shop, get home to the kids and the wife, and have some dinner, and get ready and get this match out of my mind. Get ready for Atalanta on Saturday. Forza Napoli sempre.